What are you doing?
I don't understand. I don't know what's wrong. I don't know what's wrong.
What's wrong? The wall? I mean, how wrong could it be? You're 7-1.
No, shut up. The wall's perfect. It's just, it won't let me in.
All right, you're going to have to explain this because you're sounding a little crazy.
The jerseys, man, they won't let me in. They won't even let me touch them. I haven't worn the Moog in months.
What the fuck are you talking about?
I don't know. They won't let me. Did I fail them? Did I do something wrong?
Okay, let's take a step away from the wall for a second, huh?
Yeah?
Maybe we just need to calm down a little bit.
Yeah, maybe you're right.
Maybe you don't have to wear a jersey 24/7.
That's probably a good point.
Maybe letting sweaters dictate your every move isn't exactly healthy.
Of course. I mean, it's just so obvious.
I mean, come on. The position of jerseys on a wall 968.2 miles from where the Boston Bruins play doesn't determine the outcome of a game.
What are you, an idiot? Of course it does.
Low quality fans of a high quality Bruins team. That is a dub, a league leading dub. Yes. It's true, first of all. I can't put on a jersey. I don't know what's happening. None of the vibes are right. It's just, that's true. But shove that aside. Leading the league. 7-1. The 81-1 dream. It's still alive. It's still there. Really surprised that we can say that almost 3 weeks into the season. Almost 3 weeks? 3 weeks into the season? I don't know dates. This team rocks! We have 3 main things to talk about right now. Studnicka got traded. I'll put a timestamp or something in it because that conversation is going to be close to the end. We're going to talk about the game first. And we got to talk about the Krejci injury. Because, of course, we needed something to dampen the mood, as well as my fantasy team currently getting shellacked. But that's okay, because this is Dub City. It's Dub Central. Boston is the city of winning. And no matter how much we lose, we're still the city of winning. That's just logic. That's science, baby. I don't make the rules. That's just science. We're playing a Red Wings team that had very high expectations going into the season, a great offseason. A lot of us still predicted that they needed one more year, that they'd be in the mix this year, but still needed one more to really be like, hey, we're in the playoffs and we're not leaving anytime soon. I still feel good about that prediction. That team can play, though. That team can play. They're still missing pieces. Verana, obviously, still out. Jess basically went into the players' assistance program. Huge bummer. So best wishes to Verana. But this team can play. Huso hadn't lost in regulation yet this season. He had a .939 save percentage coming into this game. He was not given the best support in the world to keep that up. But I thought he played really well for what he was given. The Red Wings score at the 6th best rate in the league to our 3rd best, and our middle ground in keeping the puck out of the net, they're a little worse than we are. What I thought was going to be a massive advantage for us in this game is the fact that they are 30th in faceoff percentage and we are 1st. Turns out they outdueled us in faceoffs because that's just how hockey goes sometimes. Swayman is going to get his first start. He sat the last 3 games. He has an .816 save percentage on the year. That got bumped up by a healthy little amount in this game. Marchand back. This is 4 weeks early. Just incredible. He will not play tomorrow night. He's not going to travel with the team. I don't think he's going to travel with the team. He will not play tomorrow because they wanted to keep him on a minutes restriction tonight, and he's still at over 17 minutes. He was the best player on the ice outside of maybe Swayman and Lindholm. I don't know. He was top 3, though, however you want to put it. Just awesome. You were worried about a double hip surgery? He looks incredible. He looks well rested. He's still got it. 2 goals and an assist. We'll talk about it. Riley was dropped. We were assuming he was going to get pushed to the AHL, and there was that transaction, I believe, but he's not getting moved anywhere because Studnicka gets traded, so Riley doesn't have to come off of the actual roster, and Riley didn't have to clear waivers for the next couple of days anyway because he had already cleared this month. So that's just kind of more bookkeeping than anything. Zaka is going to go down with Frederick and Coyle. He'll be on the right side. He did okay there and then stepped up in Krejci's absence. And then Smith is down to the fourth. Greer gets scratched. Again, a weird... I didn't love Greer's game last game, but I just don't see how he's the guy getting scratched. Defense remains the same. And just for you, James, I'm going to say it now. James thinks he's smarter than everybody else because he thinks that Frederick had a good game this game. Well, guess what, James? You're right. He really did. He really did. He did it quietly. He was not a sensational player in this game, but he made the quick, easy pass, kept plays moving, played very good defensively. I think he had exactly the type of game that he needs to have to stay in this lineup. And James, you just might be smarter than everybody else because that was a really, really solid effort by Freddie. So I'm giving you a shout out on that. Puck drops! And the first 8 minutes are a power play for the Boston Bruins. Not literally, but it feels like that. We are crashing down on this team. Not in the way, though, that last year you're like, we're the better team in the first, but we're just going to come out of the first tied. That's not the vibe around this team at all. And we are just crushing them possession-wise, with the occasional high-danger chance that goes against us the other way. I mean, after the first 10 minutes of the first period, they actually had a higher expected goals amount than we did because their 3 or 4 chances were so high danger and Swayman just kept saving them. Whereas we had way more chances, they just weren't quite at that level. That kind of all comes into a visual about 8 minutes in when Zaboral's behind our net and just throws the puck directly into the slot for Ernie to have a one-on-one with Sway, and Sway makes a save. Zaboral was probably the worst player on the ice tonight, which is such a bummer because he has to find his footing because he has not been what we thought he could be so far. Really weird start to the season for him. 11-11 left of the first. Bergeron gets cross-checked, tripped, shoved, roughed, whatever you want to call it. It ends up being called cross-checking. We're going to go to the power play. And the power play kills all of our momentum. Just horrid. No shots, awful puck management until about 5 minutes later, 6 minutes left of the period, Coyle is just, go look up the highlight. You have to look this highlight up. I'm telling you, I wish I could show highlights on this stupid YouTube channel. I want to. Coyle gets a nice little dish. It happens because Marchand, beautiful vision. It's a board battle win in front of him. Puck gets moved to him by DeBrusque. Puck gets moved to him. He contains it and then whips it across the offensive zone to the high left point for Forbort. Forbort pushes the puck into Coyle's path, who's coming off the bench. Coyle grabs it, does the little flick it into the air and jumps over skates, working through 2 bodies, finds himself in the slot, recollects, and sniper-rooney and cheese short side on Huso. 1-0, 6 minutes left of the first. Highlight reel, top 10 play, gorgeous. Coyle, he's not going to have the big goal totals. He's not going to have the high point totals. The guy is so good at hockey. Just an excellent, excellent player to have on this team. Going the other way, just about a minute later, it's a snapped stick in the slot of the offensive zone, and it leads to a 3-on-1 against us. And Forbort, down on his knee in front of Swayman, blocks the pass. They tried to wait, and get it kind of close in on Swayman, cross-crease pass for a tap-in. Forbort blocks it. Swayman reacts in time to the blocked pass because it actually gets bumped back out for the trailing Red Wings player, and he makes the pad save on that ensuing shot. Brilliant all around. Forbort, you magnificent beast. I was wrong. He's so worth $3 million. It took him about half the season last season to become real useful, and he started this year just looking so good. So we're going out of the first, 1-0 up, and you just feel like it's going to get better. Even better. Second period starts, 5 minutes in, Lindholm for interference. We kill it beautifully. 12 minutes left of the period. Worst thing that happens during the game. Krejci gets butt-ended right into the arm and then takes a stick up in the face. I mean, it leads to a power play for us. Rasmussen basically slashes Krejci in the face. That's not where the injury happened. He blatantly, in the replay, butt-ends him. Weird. I don't understand it. I don't get it. That was a bad play. Krejci goes down the tunnel, does not return, has already been ruled out for tomorrow's game. They're not sure yet, though. Staying for further testing, upper body injury. They're not giving us any details. I panic. It's awful. I hate it. It's a bad power play. We don't capitalize on it. 9:11 left. Rasmussen, who just got out of the box for cross-checking. 1 minute into the power play. And it's a nice setup after Marchand wins a faceoff. Yes, Marchand won the faceoff. Pasta goes to his opposite wing on the right side. All 4 defenders cheat that way. We cycle the puck quickly to Marchand, who's on the left side, who just walks in and beats Husso glove side. Marchand still got it. Pasta's a threat. You can't just leave the other guy alone. 2-0 power play goal. Immediately after, Sway with a huge save on a 4-on-2 going the other way. When I say the opportune moments were snuffed out by Sway, I mean it. 7:11 left for the period. Carlo goes for holding. We have another penalty kill, and we kill it once again. 1:11 left. Red Wings pushing. End of the period woes. We do not have the same problem this year, but this one felt familiar. It's a brutal goal to give up, but it's unlucky after a really bad play. Smith has the puck on the right wall and can make a play to at least get it out. And instead, he just throws it up towards the center blue line, easily just stopped by the defender who's standing there. Hronek attempts a shot. Hall blocks it. Puck comes back out, and Ernie's there to grab the blocked puck. Still very high slot. Spins, whips it on net, and it somehow finds its way past Swayman. Not even sure how it got in. Not a great one to give up, but Swayman was so good this game. I'm not mad about that. It looks like it deflected somewhere. It might be attributed to someone else at this point. I'm not really sure, but it's 2-1. And the period's going to end that way, and it feels like a letdown. But this has been a really good game, and again, the Bruins have been the better team, so there's a lot of faith you just win this one. We win these. You win those! I'll tell you why we win those. 2:41 into the third. Rasmussen again. This time over the glass for no damn reason. Terrible penalty to take. Even worse, because 13 seconds into the power play, Pasta, again on the right circle, fires this on Husso. A blast. Husso can't handle it. Bumps out to DeBrusk, who's swiping. Puck gets moved to Marchand, who has the open left side of the net. I don't know if DeBrusk meant for this to get over there, but it got over there. Easy goal. Power play. We're up 3-1. How about 35 seconds after that power play goal? Fourth line goes to work. Defensive breakdown allows Nosek to basically move around his defender, shove the puck in on net, but it actually gets kicked away from him. Bounces back towards the right circle. Smith collects, just beats Husso short side. That's 4-1. 11 seconds later, Marchand splits the D off the faceoff. He attempts a wraparound, gets slashed meanwhile. Big save by, I can't remember which defender got in the way of this, but the wraparound meta stick blocked. Another power play. 52 seconds into that power play, a clever feed from Lindholm. Looking like he has no space on the right point, just finds a way to toss this to Bergeron in the high bumper, maybe 6 or 7 feet away from him. Bergeron stalls the entire defense. Sometimes it's too easy. Bergeron freezes everyone, shovels the pass when everyone kind of steps in towards him, across to Pasta, who just hammers this from his spot. Classic one-timer, and it's 5-1. Just like that. In 99 seconds, we've scored 3 goals. If anyone tells you 99 seconds isn't enough time to get the job done, they're wrong. Show them that video. It's probably not the video they're expecting to see, though, in that conversation. But you still feel good about it. 4-board. 13-16 left for tripping. Go to the penalty kill. Kill it. Mostly. 41 seconds left of the penalty kill. Lindholm's going to go for holding. Felt like kind of a makeup call. 5-on-3. Kill that. Kill the ensuing 4v3. Just excellent special teams in this one. 3 for 6 on the power play, and I think 3 for 3 on the penalty kill, something like that. End of the game is going to have a couple penalties, a couple rough things. We're going to leave that alone. It got a little cheap. It got a little chippy. I'm not really upset at either squad for this. Red Wings are frustrated. It feels like that minute and 40 seconds really cost them the game, which it really did. They were in it until that. And it's just one of those original 6 rivalries. You don't like losing to those guys. It really gets built up into a big thing. But as far as the Bruins go, 7-1, baby. 81-1. The dream's alive. Game notes. Krejci didn't return. Not coming back tomorrow. I really hope it's precautionary and we're just not risking it because there's no reason to. We're not gonna have Marchand or Krejci tomorrow. Might be a letdown game, but when you start 7-1, you can have some of those as you deal with injuries. Just fingers crossed this isn't something bigger, because that would be devastating right now. The Studnicka trade. We get Jonathan Mierenberg, which is a mixed result. Some people are saying that he's a pretty good right-handed defenseman project prospect, 19 years old, few years away. I'm seeing a lot of also, well, one of their better defensive prospects, but not good. So I'm not very in tune with what he is. Michael DiPietro, not a very good goalie prospect. I think a lot of people are having a good time with the name, the DiPietro name, but he's a middling prospect at best. There's no room for him. There is some speculation that we're moving one of our deeper goalies because our tandem's so good, and that DiPietro will just jump in there. I don't know. This was a trade to move Studnicka and get some prospects back so we don't move them for nothing. If Mierenberg can surprise some people, excellent. But don't expect these guys to jump into the top 5 of our prospects or anything like that. I'm going to miss Studnicka. I'm bummed about it. But it was time. Because at the end of the day, if you can't use them and you're about to send them through waivers and someone's going to claim them for free, I don't know. I guess you just live with that. Vancouver wants more forward help. Studnicka has potential still. I can see why they did it. I think it's a pretty decent trade for each side given what they were going through. I still think Vancouver could have had a little more patience and might not have even had to do anything there. I just don't know if they were going to be able to claim him off waivers or not, because then it gets a little more competitive with other teams who are looking for young guys that might be able to help. Swayman, coming into this game with an .816 save percentage and a goals allowed that's way above 5. Had 2.4 goals saved above expected. He's still not in the positive for that. I go off money puck for these, by the way. Still not in the positive for that because of how terrible the Senators game was. But you take that. And now, this game, a .966 save percentage, it bumps him up to the higher 800s for his save percentage, which again, right now you take that. It's excellent, excellent work by him this game. You needed to see a rebound, especially when the pressure was building with Ullmark playing so well. And this is exactly my point when we talk about how supportive these guys are of each other, because you know Ullmark is pumped that he had that kind of game. They want both of them to be great, and that's something that's really awesome to see. My last game note, Smith is still struggling, but outside of the bad turnover, the goal was nice. He didn't really do the work for it, but we'll take it. He was okay, right? Freddie was solid. Freddie is still not my favorite guy in the roster right now. I still think he should be bumped down at least. Foligno has been consistent, and I like what we get from him. Nosek, outside of that one play, was very unnoticeable. There's very few guys I'm complaining about. Zaboral's been the biggest disappointment. I mean, Smith's probably the biggest disappointment for what you expected from him this year, but Zaboral's just been not what we thought. And I hope that he improves, because he certainly has the potential, and the team wants him to. So he's going to get his chances. I wouldn't be surprised to see him take a seat soon to slot Riley back in. It's probably going to be Riley, Zaboral switching back and forth if I had to guess, unless they're trying to keep somebody healthy. Maybe they're trying to ease Carlo back into it and they end up sitting him for a game or something. But Zaboral's been easily the most frustrating part of this team when you look at what he could be and what he's currently performing as. All right, guys, that does it for me. Like, comment, subscribe. A long video, but there's a lot to talk about. This game was so fun, and this team is so fun, but I can't be all excited because I'm so worried about the Krejci stuff. But we're going to figure that out. We'll get more news over the weekend, and same time tomorrow, right? Yeah. Go Bees!